Welcome back, traders. Today we're going to be picking up from where we left off on yesterday's video that we did on gold. Yesterday, just before I ended the video, I was looking at an opportunity to enter market with a long. I took that trade straight after doing the recording. It worked out really well, so I closed out in profit, which was great. Today I'm not in anything right now, so I'm looking for a new opportunity, and the point of this video is I'm just going to take you through my thinking process, how I'm looking at everything before I make a decision, if I'm going to make a decision today, or if I'm just going to wait to see if the setups that I'm waiting for shows up. So with that said, we're going to get straight into it. So yesterday's trade was relatively straightforward, right? So yesterday's trade was looking at the 1 hour. I saw this opportunity right here in regards to this order block in this area right here. Actually, let me get rid of that. Let me change the color. Let's make that blue. So I took the trade based on what was happening in this area with this order block. I entered in, I got TP hit. That was a fantastic result. So I'm very, very, very happy with that. And now we're looking for new opportunities. So going to get rid of all the stuff we no longer need on here anymore. Some of it may come in handy at a later date, but for now, we don't actually need it, right? So in yesterday's video, most of the details that we talked about in that analysis still stands till today, right? So there's no point in looking at that. And if you wanted to know what I was talking about in that, I would recommend you go and check yesterday's video on gold, right? Today's video is more or less working with what we now know and how we can build off that. So first things first is I'm looking for areas where we could get a possible retracement, where price could come back into these zones, right? And the first location that I can see right now, and this is us looking at this on the 1 hour, would be, as a matter of fact, let me go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is a lot better. It is a lot better. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, cool. So as it stands, the moves that I'll be waiting for is more or less what I talked about with you guys yesterday, right? So I got the first move yesterday, which is great. Now we need a new opportunity. That opportunity, where I see that opportunity, is going to be in this zone right here. And the level in question, we're looking at 4,160. So that's a nice little area. If price closes above that, we could consider entering. But before we consider entering price in that zone, we have to be mindful of the FVG in this area right here. Okay, just because we could get a rejection of that level. So in all fairness, rather than targeting 160 for longs to the upside, I think the safe bet will possibly be 4,180. That will probably be the better approach to take in terms of riding market to the upside, right? So that's how I will do things there. Now, with that said, it now makes sense to jump into the 1 hour to take a look to see what kind of opportunities we can find. And from what I can see right now is we have a bit of a range in this area. So we have price kind of just staying in this zone right now. And this is in the process of possibly breaking out. If it does break out, then once again, this level right here of 480, that's the level that we're looking for to maybe consider taking longs. But just for the fact that price comes out of this range, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good time to actually drain the market, because I literally need price to clear the order block, right? So long as it stays within this zone right here, okay, it is a tradable situation, but there is a high possibility that things could go very wrong in that area if you try to do business in that zone. I will need price to leave that zone in order for everything to make sense. And the first confirmation that I will need is for this level right here to be gone, right? And then the second confirmation is to get a close above 4,180. Once I get those two confirmation, I will be comfortable in taking a trade. Now, in saying that, it's important I say this, okay? We only control the decisions we make up until we pull the trigger of getting into the market. And then once we pull the trigger of getting into the market, we don't know where the market is going to go. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I just know that using all the experience that I have there is a high possibility that it's going to go the way that I think it's going to go, but I can't guarantee it's going to go the way I think it's going to go. All right, all of that is all up in the air. The only thing that I have is that over a period of time, if my strategy proves to be more of a winning strategy than a losing strategy, then overall I win, right? So it's not really so much about getting it perfect every single time. Over a period of say 100 trades, did I win 80% of them all? And if I won 80% of all those trades, then my strategy is solid. If I only won 10%, then my strategy is trash, right? So based on the strategies that I share with you, I win more trades than I lose, right? I win way more trades than I lose. And what I'm basically doing is just mastering these key components and seeing if there's anything missing from that before I begin to really add on substantial size to get to the level where I need to be. But as for the overall skill set itself, as to navigating the market, etc., do I know what it is that I'm doing? Absolutely, right? All it is you got to do is just go through, watch all my videos, and back test them all based on what I said and what happened, and then you see the answers there for yourself, right? That's it. So with that rant out of the way, what am I expecting today? Bearing in mind that we're looking at this on the 1 hour. As it stands, so long as price stays within this zone that is in right now, I have no business entering into this space. None whatsoever. I got paid yesterday. Very happy about that, or in the early hours of this morning, I should say, right? I'm very happy about that. There is no need for me to go in gun ho, right? I can see opportunities where I could possibly go in, but the bottom line is it will be a bad decision. And I know it will be a bad decision. So I'm going to wait. So the takeaways from this video is this. Takeaways from this video is basically simply this. And we need to go to the 4 hour so we can really get a good idea as to what it is that we're doing. So what we know is there is an FVG here right now. Okay. Now, if you want, you could try to trade that FVG. I'm not going to stop you, right? We can see that price is in this FVG zone right now, right? We have a parabolic push to the upside into that FVG zone. So as a matter of fact, let me just highlight that FVG zone like this. I think it's going to be a lot better if it is highlighted properly. So let me add a color in there. Let's just make this purple, right? So the purple box is the FVG zone, right? What we need for everything we are doing to make sense, right? In terms of if we're taking shorts, longs, or whatever, right? Is we need price to close above this level right here, okay? Because it is an FVG, it could drop back down again. It could easily do that, right? But to make sure that if we make this decision, we stand a good chance of winning, we need that close above that FVG zone, right? The level that I've put down as to the level that I would think about possibly jumping in will be 4,180, right? If you get a close above that, it's going to make sense to me. If it stays below that, it's not going to make any sense. And I will wait for a solid close above this level. Once I get that solid close above that level, I know there is a very high possibility it's going to go my way, right? So with that said and done, I'm going to end the video here. If you find the content useful, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, drop us a like. And with that said, I will see you all on the next one.